Yeah, there we go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, real nice one.
What was he on?
That was on that, oh, you hooked up?
Yep.
There we go.
Nice.
Nice little double.
Yep.
Top water and tubes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. There we go. It's a nice little opening volley. Jake and I are on famous Lake Vermilion, just out of Tower, Minnesota, and we're hunting smallmouth bass. It should be an interesting mission. We're gonna look at some strategies for fishing boulders. Little fatso there. Jake's got a better one there.
Great way to start.
Shallow.
We like that.
Yeah.
We like shallow. Craw crunchers.
Yeah.
There he goes. I don't know if there's a better place to catch just numbers of smallmouth than Lake Vermilion. It is insane how many fish there are.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride. There's one. There's one.
Nice.
There's a better one. There you go. Nope. There you go. There you go. Oh. Look at that. Come here. You know, in these shield lakes, it's sort of interesting because you think it's rocks everywhere when you look at the shoreline, but really it's not. Actually, you go into deeper water and the primary bottom composition in a lot of these lakes is sand. But aside from, there's a really specific type of rocks, a tendency that really hold these fish. And specifically, boulders are really bigger than any other type of rock specifically, you know, where you have round boulders. Has a tendency, I think it holds a lot of crayfish and ultimately smallmouths. It's a tip of a boulder, but what this is there's like about 2 or 3 different boulder spines in here, high spots, little rock piles, and when those fish get active, they get up on tops of these fat flats and feed. When they're inactive, a lot of times you actually have little sharper ledge drops and tips of points and edges where the fish have the tendency to dump into when they're inactive. What we're hoping, if they're up moving and crunching up on top of the flats, it makes it a lot easier where you can use a lot of, oop, there's one right there. Look at him on live right there. That's one right there. That guy right there, about 25 feet that way. But the thing is, they do move around quite a bit. Smallmouths are definitely moving around based on how they're feeding. When they're inactive, they have the tendency to drop down at the bottom and set up along any type of ledge, you know, like a ledge drop or a pile of boulders, you know, some specific area on the edge of these flats where they gather together.
And that's the thing, when you're out here doing the smallmouth fishing, they are never alone. I mean, there is, if you catch one, you can be almost guaranteed you'll catch another. Ooh, that's a nicer one.
That's a better one.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, come here. Huh. See, he was out in front of, out in this little bit deeper stuff. Come here, buddy. Oop, ooh. There you go. I think he's a little bit better one there. Whoa. Let's see, what size is he?
Oh, yeah.
Is he just being a ruffian? What?
No, he's a nice one.
What?
Got some shoulders on him.
Yeah. Gosh, this kite is just so tough. It's just got me. Look at this. This segment is brought to you by Wavy Label Eyewear. Backed by a lifetime warranty, we see what others don't. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a nice one there. Get this hook out of his mouth. There we go. Beautiful. That's a nice one. It's one thing about Vermilion, there's no shortage of these guys. There sure is a lot of them. The thing is as these fish drop out, like right now, it's still pretty early in the summer. The fish are gradually going to move out onto these main lakes, sunken humps and structures out offshore. More and more of them will. But right now, it seems like shallow is the deal. The majority of the fish we've been catching so far have been below, shallower than 7 foot of water. A lot of them are in like 4 and 5. Vermilion, it's such a big, complex lake. And the interesting thing about this lake, throughout the majority of the summer months, that there's some amount of fish, smallmouths, that are relating to docks, you know. The thing is, like these docks, and you can see this Boulder shoreline, it's actually really good natural habitat anyway for crawdads. But the thing is, with these docks, they really put a tremendous amount of shade cover, and the smallmouths really can pile up on them. It's not that uncommon. You pull up to some of these docks and have like a school of smallmouths underneath one dock. You know, catch 4 or 5 of them from one dock, easy. Weird.
There we go, buddy.
That looks like a better one there.
Yeah, that's the size class we're looking for. Oh, and he's just puking up crawfish. Oh, come here. You know, Lake Vermilion is one of those unique lakes where a good chunk of the smallie population stays shallow pretty much all the summer months. I'll get this guy in and I'll kind of explain here. Come here, buddy. Oh, there he is. Beautiful smallie. I will fire him back. So, like I was saying, Lake Vermilion's a unique lake in the fact that a lot of smallies stay shallow, you know, starting in May all the way through September. Now, no doubt there's gonna be some fish out suspended chasing ciscos and whitefish, and there'll definitely be some fish on deep rock humps, but for a majority of this population, they're staying in typical depths of 10 to 12, maybe 14 feet or less. And a lot of these fish you can find, I mean, in really, really skinny water. And the big reason is because these fish are up here eating crawdads. So, that means tubes. Tubes and shallow.
The cool thing about this football head with the tube in the inside, I just let it reel to the or drop to the bottom, and then I just start reeling it. And it's not really, I'm not hopping the bait or reel out, I'm just casting it out and just reeling it in, so and it's just almost constant contact on the bottom. When the smallmouths hit that thing, you usually hit it pretty aggressively, you know what I mean? Because they're used to crunching on crawdads, and when they pop it, you really know you got a bite.
Sporty model.
What's that?
It's giving you the workout.
Yeah. Not a bad one. Come here, buddy.
Most of the fish are keen in on crawdads, so the tube's been our best presentation by far, but everything's catching a few.
Actually, some of the best days for this shallow boulder fishing is during midday. You get clouds and overcast, and these fish, they don't bite as good generally. Come here, buddy. That's a good one there. Come here, buddy. A little bit better. Come on. A little bit better. Come here. There we go. There you go. That isn't a bad one.
So that was on a number 8 shad wrap.
Your style of boat control is really key.
One that was there from the very beginning.
You want to be able to see in the water.
The adventure begins.
We are loaded for bear. We got
You know,
bites.
there's so many different ways to fish for walleye. Dependability and efficiency.
Simple, fast, and easy.
The best rods on the planet.
With the tube perched directly in his snout. There, like little tub. You can see that these guys got a lot of food. I think there's so many crayfish. I mean, they're just carpeted on the bottom, and it's such easy feeding for these fish. That's why your presentation, you like this tube, you go cast it out and you let it drop it to the bottom, just slowly start reeling it in. We're not even really doing a bunch of hopping or popping or anything like that. This football head, you know, we're flipping it around. We're fishing around the docks, but we're also fishing in between the docks. But the biggest thing is when you look at the bottom in here, this is sand, and what happens is those rocks stop. And that's what I'm trying to fish also, as well as fishing around the docks, is shade cover. But the transition from where the rocks turn into the sand, a lot of times the fish will utilize that edge a lot, no matter what depth it is. In this particular case, it's relatively shallow. The tube is working. The tube in a VMC football head. It's just a small football head and a 2-inch big bite salt tube. You can't beat it in crawdad color. They really like that little rascal. The thing is, it works anywhere you fish for smallmouths. I take this color and throw it.
The tube is just a great crawdad imitation. And you can really fish it at any depth. Right now I've got a pretty light jig head in there, but if we were to drop out, you know, say in that 10 to 12 foot, I could just switch that out to a 1/4 ounce. But it's just a great crawfish imitation. All right.
You know, when you look on the deck of the boat, we just about got every different smallmouth bass presentation known to man, from jerk baits, crankbaits, top water, drop shot, Nico rig, grub, and we've caught almost all the fish tubing. But it just goes to show you, you got to go through all the different baits to figure out what they're willing to bite on that given day. But I've been fishing with the St. Croix Mojo. This is a new Trigon rod that they've just put out. It's got a really interesting handle. It's actually triangular shape. It's really super comfortable in your hand. But this 7'3", a medium extra fast action rod. I got it on a Tatula. This is a MQ 3000 10-pound test, 832 braid with about a 12-pound Invisalign fluorocarbon leader. And what we're doing with this is a lot of just, you don't really do a lot of bottom, you were sort of just slow reeling it, because if you just drag it on the bottom, a lot of times you get hung up. But with this slow, steady reel, it should just sort of minimize getting hung up all the time. Because as you can see, when you look at the bottom composition, we're fishing over a lot of rocks. But this rod and reel combo is where it's at right now. It's where it's at right now, according to the smallmouths. But you never know. Sometimes you come out there on a hot topwater bite. Sometimes they're on a hot crankbait bite. Come here, buddy.
Oh, it's got a nice one with him.
Come here, buddy. Did he have a buddy with him?
Yep. Got him.
Got him?
Yeah, pitched it right to him.
He had a buddy following him. There you go. Not a biggie. Not a biggie.
Ooh. Ow. Oh boy. Come here, buddy. Oh, fun little double. Not big, but he had a big heart. And a big belly.
Oh. You know, one thing when you're fishing for shallow water smallmouths like this, whether it be on, where you happen to be on Vermilion, it could be Lake of the Woods, Rainy, or any Canadian shield lake, is finding the right habitat. When these fish are up here, you'll notice one thing when you look at my map, the one thing that you want to find are these big extensive flats of shallow water area. And what I have is my depth highlight set between 6 and 12 foot of water, with my shallow water highlight, which is 5 foot and shallower, is red. And what that enables you to do is really target the right area and bottom composition. You'll notice that when you look at my side imagery right here, what this is. This is not flats. This is, or I should say, flat shelf rock. What it is lots of boulders. And what a lot of times what we would do is drive around these structures first off and actually drop coordinates like this right there. There's a big boulder right there. Is mark all the largest boulders and little slides, little high spots on that underwater structure. So when you fish back over it, you're fishing very accurately. You're casting right to the key spots. A lot of these areas, like right in here, you can see there's nothing here. It's like a just big flat shelf with not very much rock, but you got a little bit of gravel through here. But what you're looking for is those key little inside corners, ridges. There's spots on here that really have the tendency to gather the fish. And that's what, a lot of times, it'll really save you a lot of time to use your electronics to its full potential. And we'd sit there, and once you drive over the structure, and I mark those spots every time I come back here, you pull right up and you're casting right to the best spots here. You can see right here, there's a good boulder slide out here. There's some big boulders there too.
Now, one tool that's really important when you're doing the shallow water fishing is the Minn Kota Talon. What's been nice is we're driving around, we're cruising across these big flats, and when we do contact fish, we're able to talon down, pin down in that area, and just cast around and pick apart that zone where we know fish are. And then, you know, once we've caught 5, 6, whatever we thought the school would be, we'll talon back up, keep moving, and just repeating that process across these rocky flats.
There we go. Ooh, there you go. A little bit better one. Come on, buddy.
They like to eat when you're throwing the right thing.
You don't have all bluebird flat calm days.
Just a perfect eating size fish. See, that's what I'm talking about, these Daiwa drag.
We got walleye stuff, we got crappie stuff, we got pike stuff.
This boat is rigged up about as nice.
Easy to use, and it flat out works.
It's a must-have when you're talking about big waves. Well, these trout are so darn tough.
Incredible 11-year warranty.
There we go. Ooh, there you go. A little bit better one. Come on, buddy. Come here, buddy. Just a toughie. Another toughie. Just herds of them. Oh, no. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh. Sort of interesting is, you know, all the smallmouths in these lakes, when they move in a great big cloud. When they're coming to shallow water, they're spread out on every different little isolated piece of cover, every little rock pile. You got some on docks, and you know, and just out from the shoreline, you have additional rock piles. And when the fish are shallow, that's just the way they lay out. But this is the same thing that happens at Lake of the Woods, Lake Vermilion, Rainy. The exact same thing happens when the fish are shallow like this. It's sort of fun fishing because you're moving along and you're actually sort of seeing exactly what you're casting to. You know, and the fish are there, drop it to the bottom, pull it along for a little bit, pick up, and make another cast. Right here, you got a little bit of a sharper drop right in here with some big boulders. There should be a fish right in here.
Modern electronics do a lot to get you in the vicinity of the proper cover or structure that fish are keying in on. And in shallow water, making accurate casts can be a game changer. We use wavy label sunglasses which do a few things. 1. The fitted wrap style frame allows for the highest level of sun protection from harmful UV rays, which are known to be very detrimental to your vision. We spend up to 200 days on the water, and keeping our eyes protected is a necessity. Keeping your eyes safe from flying hooks, debris, or bugs when running down the lake goes without saying. Next, the high-quality polarized lenses allow you to see deep into the water and target subtle boulders, bottom transitions, wood, or weeds. There's no doubt about it. What we're doing today is target fishing, and having quality eyewear that is comfortable makes all the difference in the world. And a lifetime warranty doesn't hurt. Not even that big, just full of fight.
We were up here earlier and we caught a lot of big walleyes. This was probably about a month ago up on the tops of these shallow humps, the main lake humps. But the fish were the same thing. They were up in 4 to 5 foot of water, casting a jig and a night crawler and leeches up on floats, great big ones too. You know, then throughout the fall, we come up here and muskie fish quite a bit. That's a nice thing about this lake is it's got so many different varied species and different bites throughout the course of a season. Vermilion's just one of those unique bodies of water, tremendous fishery, tremendous food shelves that carries a tremendous amount of carrying capacity of a lot of different fish. The nice thing about like the smallmouth fishing throughout the summer months, they actually bite better when it's flat, calm, and sunny. The crawdads get up on the rock piles and the smallmouths follow them up to feed. And you'll catch them right during, you know, flat, calm, sunny conditions. The fish will generally be biting quite good. There we go. Gosh, it's been sort of a fun day, boy. I mean, we've been just smoking them. Not giants, but when you consider that you catch 30 of them or 40 of them like that, it's a pretty good bite, no question about it. It's one thing about, you come up to Lake Vermilion, you're very, very rarely disappointed.
When my wife and I first got married, we were not active into the things of God. We didn't go to church. We were just busy living life. Yeah, we were good people. We didn't hurt anybody. We helped people when they needed it. Yeah, you know, a good moral fabric was there. But after we got married, we looked into the Bible. This is the first Bible that my wife and I ever looked at, and particularly my wife. I want to read you the beginning of it, because it was a life changer for both of us. It says, "This certifies that Mary and Al Lindner were united in holy matrimony on the 18th day of August in the year of the Lord, 1974, at Nisswa Community Church by Pastor Hendricks. Witness Joyce Wadsworth, that's my sister-in-law. Witness Ron Lindner, my brother." This was the beginning of a life-changing experience. 2 years later, I got into, a little bit more than that. 2 years later, I got active into reading about the things of God. I studied different religions, different things about me, and I said, this makes sense to me. The Bible makes sense to me. And I bent my knee in early June and turned my life over to the Lord. And this is the first Bible that my wife gave me. With love to you on Father's Day, June 20th, 1982, from your wife Mary and your sons Sean and Troy. May the Lord bless you and give you the wisdom contained in His Word. The wisdom contained in His Word. 40-something years later, I am so blessed to be able to look into the Word of God. I can give you testimony. This stuff is real. It is real. It's life-changing. No matter what you're dealing with, God is there. This is your guidebook to overcome anything. And I'm sharing with you that because I've experienced it and hope and pray. The reason I do these closes is to hope and pray that some of you are blessed by it and are impacted the way I was. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good, safe fishing season. We'll see you on the water.